I'm coming at the haters, they're making me more famous, cause my videos got more force than Darth Vader. Go! Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Turkish Delight, back with another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Thank you for joining me today. Lately, DICE has been on a roll with porting recycled content from Battlefront 2015 into Battlefront 2 and calling it quote-unquote new content. Granted, a lot of it has been good stuff that were community favorites from the first game, such as the administrators in Jabba's Palace maps. So in the spirit of keeping the good ideas from Battlefront 2015 alive, and with the idea for the video topic coming from today's featured commenter, Abalone Rex, I popped in my old Battlefront 2015 disc for some nostalgia, and we are now going to be diving into the aspects and elements from Battlefront 2015 that should return in Battlefront 2, and those that should stay dead in the past. Great idea, Abalone Rex. I appreciate the support. I'm first going to start on those elements that should make a return from the first game, which will be a significantly longer list, and then move on to what should stay out of future releases. This is 100% my own opinion, so if you have your own ideas of what should return and what shouldn't, drop a comment below and let me know what those ideas are. I try to read and respond to every comment, and I love to see what you guys can come up with. Starting off the list of things that should return, we have the legendary HUD Contracts, which have actually been rumored through a few leaks to make a comeback in Battlefront 2 at some point. Whether they actually will remains to be seen, but I loved doing dirty work for Jabba in the first game and getting rewarded with new weapons and star cards. It was just another element that brought players deeper into the world of Star Wars, which is ultimately what this game aimed to do. I have a feeling most players will have unlocked all their star cards by the time HUD Contracts get introduced to Battlefront 2, if they ever do, so DICE could use them as a means for players to earn more credits or to unlock future weapons. Playing off of that, more of the weapons from Battlefront 2015 should be available and playable in Battlefront 2. If you think about it, most of the weapons are actually in Battlefront 2, they're just very class specific, and it makes the variety of weapons seem much smaller than it actually is. The DLT-19 and RTC heavy blasters, for example, were among the starting guns in Battlefront 2015, but in the second game, they're class specific to only the Death Trooper and the Imperial Rocket Trooper respectively. I don't see any reason the Heavy, for example, cannot use those blasters. I think giving classes more options as future weapons get released is a good idea, and I can see blasters such as the Bow Rifle, A180, and the DT-29, which were all introduced in the Scarif DLC, making a comeback in the future. Next one is a smaller feature, but one I enjoyed. The ability to spawn on your partner after you were defeated was a great one, and could be tactically advantageous if you were smart with it. DICE needs more features to promote team play in general in this game, and encouraging friends to partner up with a feature like this would help a lot, I think. Next up, some of the more popular modes from Battlefront 2015 would really spice up and add some variety to the current list of modes we have. Extraction, which was the mode introduced in the Outer Rim DLC, has already been rumored to be coming back with the solo season, though we will have to wait another few weeks to see if that is true or not. I think including game modes such as Sabotage from the Bespin DLC and Infiltration from the Scarif DLC would make for some great gameplay in Battlefront 2. I wouldn't say no to the Trench Run from the Death Star DLC either, for some more Starfighter Assault content. Moving on, Arcade mode could use some more content as well, and bringing back both Skirmish mode and 1 and 2 player online play would be great, as it's something we've been asking for since day one. I've been looking forward to having one-on-one duels with friends since launch, and this feature still has not been introduced into Arcade. The new Hero Showdown mode kind of fills that gap, but not to the level of freedom Battlefront 2015's feature had. Bring it back, DICE. And finally, the last elements from Battlefront 2015 on my list that should make a return are all the best maps, skins, and heroes that currently are not in Battlefront 2 yet. Nyan Num, Greedo, and even Dengar did not receive very well in the community at first, but I personally enjoyed those heroes a lot, and seeing them again would add that much more variety to Battlefront 2. Also, between the skins that haven't been released yet, such as the Sullustan and Ishi-Tib, which were fan favorites by the way, as well as some of the best maps from the various planet locations shared between both games, like Jakku and Bespin, DICE has a lot of content to work with to use as smaller releases between the bigger DLC drops. And that honestly seems to be the plan over there. to slowly reintroduce the best elements from the previous game as filler content. They certainly have options. And now we're moving on to what should stay far, far away from Battlefront 2. And I'm going to start with a pretty big and obvious one. The hero pickups and the power-ups were the bane of many a player's existence. Fighting your own teammates to get the opportunity to play as a hero or grab a power-up did not promote positive feelings toward them, especially when you had it in your grasp only to have your teammate swoop in with their jetpack and take it from you at the last second. You've done it, it's been done to you, let's keep it out of Battlefront 2 in the future. Now, I might get some heat for this, but the next item that should stay in the past is Explosive Shot. Now, yes, I know there are currently 2 weapons in the game that have an available explosive attachment, but in my humble opinion, that is 2 weapons too many. The Blurg is a little bit more tame, but when you give an OP function like that to arguably the most noob-friendly classes in the game, you're just asking for trouble. I'll grant the fact that in Battlefront 2015, it worked more like a damage boost for your weapon, and honestly that was great, but in Battlefront 2 it's a bit more broken, especially with the DC-15. Explosive Shot does not require much skill to use, when nearly every other aspect of this game does revolve around a certain level of skill. I hate using it, I hate when it's used on me, let's keep it in the first game where it belongs. Jetpack spam is a thing of the past with Battlefront 2, and thank goodness for that, as that is the next item on the list to stay dead. Personal shields and jetpacks dominated Battlefront 2015, and the class system has thankfully eliminated that issue. Jetpacks being reserved for a special class was a great idea, as now they're more of a tactical tool for movement and combat, as opposed to everybody's primary mode of transportation and stealing pickups. And lastly, the final thing that should not come back from Battlefront 2015 is the EE4. I know I touched on us needing new weapons, but come on, that thing was broken as hell, and unless it gets some serious reworking, I am keeping the holy water handy because that demon is not welcome in my game. And with that, that's my list of things that should and should not make a comeback from Battlefront 2015. If you've made it this far in the video, comment what idea you'd most like to see return in Battlefront 2, and which idea you would most not like to see. I'm curious what everybody liked and disliked from the first game. If you have ideas of your own, be sure to let them be known in a comment. I appreciate you all joining me today. If you are a new viewer, consider becoming a subscriber to stay up to date with all future content from this channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to receive future notifications. This has been Turkish Delight. I'll see you all out on the battlefront. Peace. Yeah, we sipping all our problems away.